All right, here we go. The third video in the Ford F350 glow up. All right, what do we got here, Sandy?
All right, I have the XB LED smoked taillights.
And I got the XB LED second generation headlights that just came out. We're gonna throw a brake light in here, and we're also gonna throw a license plate light in here to give us a little bit of that extra glow when we're trying to hook up this thing and it's a little bit dark outside. Are you excited about this install?
Oh, I can't wait. It already is like so transformed that this is gonna be like the icing on the cake.
All right, so we're gonna tease you a little bit. I'm gonna save the biggest and baddest part of this install for last. We're gonna set these aside, and I think we're gonna start on the brake light since we're already in the back of the truck here. Click the link in the description below if you wanna see the lights that we used on this build, or check out what lights might work for your ride. Make sure you stick around to the end to see how this lighting turned out. All right, let's do a little unboxing here and see how cool this thing looks. I love the packaging. I love opening this up. Now, why upgrade from some taillights that seem pretty good to some taillights that are excellent? Well, the main reason that I really want is we are going with the smoked out, blacked out look on this truck. I got the smoked out, blacked out LED taillights here. Now these come in two different versions. You can get these ones or the red ones. And another cool thing about this is there's no bulbs inside and there's no maintenance. And they come with a 5-year warranty. So should we do a little ASMR here of unwrapping this plastic off of this? If you want to watch a guy putting in taillights doing ASMR. Let's zoom out a little bit here so we can see that thing in full effect there. Wow.
The smoke taillights, I wasn't sure how important they were to this whole look, but now I see how sexy they are and how it's really gonna complete the whole black on black vibe that this truck now has. All right, let's get these bad boys put in. Ooh. So when you first open the box, you are gonna see some Ziplocs with a bunch of different configurations. And if you don't know how to do it, on their website, they do have a bunch of tutorials that go way in depth on how to do it all, so you're covered. So the first thing we're gonna do is take out the driver's side, and I'll tell you why in a second. So just give it a little wiggle and pop it out. Whoa, that was easy. Ready?
So there's a system in these Ford trucks called Bliss, and what this is a blind spot information center, or a radar that sticks out right here. And what this does is there's a car right here, it lets me know in my mirror with that little yellow dot that there's a vehicle right here, so don't change lanes. All right, so here's the Bliss system in the old taillight. There's 4 screws that I took out, and if we switch it over, we can see the computer hardware right here. What we're gonna do is take this one off and put it into the Morimoto one, because this one doesn't come with it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So one thing you can do too is I'm always cross-referencing what I'm doing with the Morimoto website to make sure that we're putting these things in right. All right, there we go. We got the Bliss system out. Now we're just gonna put it on the Morimoto side.
All right, we're ready to put it back in. Get that guy in. There you go. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Now that is a whole nother level. All right, we're gonna test this out and run through all the functions. All right, so turn it on. Brake lights, looks good.
And then can you see the running lights?
Now I do. All right, I gotta say, they look pretty good. So we're gonna switch out this side, but I have a little surprise for you. We also have the XTR LED light, which is a light that goes around the license plate. So when you put it in reverse, it's gonna light up the whole area behind you when you back up.
And we're gonna put it right here, but we have to make a hole for this wire to go through. So now we're gonna feed our wire all the way through the hole. There we go, the perfect lineup. Look at that, it looks amazing. And there we go. Now we're gonna take this wire right here that runs out of the back of the light, and we're gonna run it up to the other side here where the brake light is at and get that all hooked up. All right, the star of the show. Will you get out here and help me put back in this tail light, please?
I'm gonna do this, babe.
All right. You know, we've been out here for a couple hours getting this thing all hooked up and shooting and making sure everything's perfect. Yeah, we gotta eat every once in a while.
Manja.
Oh,
whoa.
all right, there's your tail light. I gotta finish eating my sandwich.
All righty. I will take over from here. All right, so I'm gonna plug the reverse light, and you will have a lot of excess wire, but don't worry about that because we're gonna zip tie it under the truck. All right, so you wanna make sure you hear it click to know that it is all the way in. All right.
All right, this is the moment we've been waiting for. Both tail lights are in, the backup light is in. We're gonna close the tailgate and see what our first 2 modifications look like. You ready, Sandy?
Let's see what it looks like.
How's that look? Is that running lights?
Yep, running lights are on.
Turn signal?
Yep.
Brake lights?
Very nice.
All right, you ready for the reverse?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's really bright too.
Let me check it out. Oh, wee, holy moly.
Yeah,
Wow,
look
that's
how-
like clear,
look how
crystal
bright.
clear that is. Man, this is gonna be great when we have to back up to the 5th wheel and we can see everything in
Yeah.
nighttime, because we always, dang, that looks sick.
That's a big difference. And I love this light too.
Yeah, look at that. That's like laser. So this one here is Morimoto, and this one up here is Morimoto too. So both of them look really, really cool. Let's head over to Morimoto's website and show you how to get all the must-have accessories for your ride. The first thing you got to do is type in your year, your make, and your model. Then you're gonna find every lighting accessory that you can't live without. The grill is what made me fall in love with Morimoto, but once I found these smoke tail lights and the LED headlights, it was game over. There's so much information on each one of these products that you can spend hours getting inspired. They even have videos on almost every one of their products so you can see the install process. All right, we got the truck all switched around right here. This is the second big project that we done with Morimoto. The first one was put in this XBG grill right here that has these amazing LEDs. Everybody has said as we're driving down the road, whoa, this thing looks like a beast coming down. We put in the 4-banger headlights down here, or fog lights. These things have been great out here on these dark country roads. We had 3 days where fog rolled in and I got to test these things out and they're absolutely amazing. And now we're getting ready to switch out the headlights right here for the XB Generation 2 LED headlights. So let's do it before it gets too dark. But if it does get dark, it doesn't even matter because we got some crazy lights here to light up the night. All right, I told you we were saving the best for last. XB LED headlights. Can't wait to get this box open. This thing is huge. I got something in here. Here we go, right here. Let's open this thing up and see what's inside. What the heck could be in here that this box is so big? There's one right here. These are good for 2017 to 2019 Ford F350 Super Duties. All right, let's see what else is in here. Look at those bad boys right there. I'm gonna leave this blue on here until we get right to the point of installation because I do not want these things to get scratched. I'm gonna treat them like a fourth baby right here and make sure they're protected. All right, looks like we got another one down here. All right, you guys already know what's in this one right here, so we're gonna leave it in here until we get ready to install. So one of the first things that we gotta do though, is we gotta pop the hood and take off a whole bunch of screws in here. Since I already put in this grill about 2 weeks ago, I know the process on how to get this out, so we're gonna go through it real quick so that we can get these things in and see how awesome they look. There's 3 stages to this thing. There's popping out these little plastic things, popping off this plastic cover, and then popping off the grill and getting access to 4 screws around each one of the headlights. So that's what we're working on right now. All right, we got all these out. So before we take this off, just give you a little shout out about Morimoto. They are the best in the business. This is the most expensive truck that we've ever purchased. And if you look it up, it costs a pretty penny. So when you got the best, you want to put the best on the truck. And a lot of times when you're thinking about putting aftermarket parts on here, it seems like nothing can compete with the OEM stuff or the stuff that comes from the factory. And I gotta tell you, Morimoto stuff is better than what comes from the factory, which is kind of mind-blowing because the factory is pretty good stuff and it fits in there seamlessly and it's just top notch. So only the best for her. That's why we chose Morimoto. All right, phase 1 is done. All right, next thing we gotta do is grab a 10mm ratchet and pull out some of these bolts. Poppity pop. So right now the grill is officially broken loose from the frame. And we're gonna work at it here for a second and try to pop it out. We got one out over here. Oh, hey, there we go. Since I already had this out, it came out a little bit easier the second time. We gotta unhook these lights right here and then we'll be ready to drop this thing down. All right, so these little wires right here hook up the grill lights. So we're just gonna unhook those so we can get to these screws that hold in the headlights. All right, that's what it looks like with the grill off. If I didn't know any better, I'd be getting a little nervous right now thinking my truck didn't look so good anymore, but this is just half of the process, so it'll look good again. And I think this might be a great time to turn off the lights so we don't hurt ourselves or get electrocuted or something. All right, here's the first screw right here. All right, the 4th screw is under this little tiny rubber piece right here, so you know, it's crazy. Last time I did this, it took me like, I'd say a good 25 minutes to get to that bolt. And this time it took me 25 seconds. All right, let's see if we can pop this baby off here. All right, so the trick to this is tip out the front first and then pick up the bottom and pull it out. That's what it was. So all we're gonna do is unplug this one harness that goes into the back of the light and then we should be free to take the light out. Look at that, we got the light out. There's the old light, out with the old, in with the new, right? I'm gonna set this down for a second, dive back into the website and check out another video on how to put in these headlights to make sure I'm doing it the right way.
If you have a 2017 to 2019 Ford Super Duty, do I have news for you? We just dropped our Gen 2 XB LED headlights and they are brighter and cooler looking than the original.
All right, so the key to getting power to the headlights is we gotta run this little wire up to the fuse box and we gotta tap into fuse number 34 with this little guy right here. So we're gonna wire this in through here and then we'll take the wire and run it all the way over to the other side to get power to that headlight as well. Oh, Nixie made me a s'more. They're roasting marshmallows over here and I gotta miss it, but at least I got a s'more. Thanks, Nix. All right, I think I got all the wiring figured out here, so let's throw this bad boy in, see if we did it right. All right, I think I got it hooked up right. I'm gonna run over here and turn on the lights real quick and just double check, because you know, sometimes you just gotta check along the way and see how it goes. Yes, 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 yes. I don't know if if you can see me anymore, but we got it. We got it. Sequential turn signal. How cool is that? Super high beams, super bright daytime running lights. All right, we got everything in. We got to put these 4 bolts back in. It's getting late. It's about 10 o'clock at night. I'm trying to hold it down out here, but I can barely contain my excitement because these look really cool. I'm gonna wait till the very end to pull these off. So let's get these 4 bolts back in. But we got to be quiet now. We can't use our electric ratchet anymore. We got to use the old school hardcore ratchet. Definitely not as fun, but definitely way more quiet. Man, what a good feeling. What a good feeling. There's always got to be that one, doesn't there? All right, and just like that, the second headlight is out. It's always so much faster on the second time around. I don't know why. Oh, here she comes, number 2. Watch out for her, she'll chew you up. Whoa, whoa, here she comes. She's a man-eater. All right, it's getting a little late. I'm getting a little delirious out here, so. All right, Sandy, I got both the headlights in. Brought you out here for the finale shot here. I want to turn this thing on, see if it works. We got lots of options going on here too, so.
Lots of options, huh?
Yeah, there's option number 1.
Ooh, look at those light up.
Turn signal.
Oh, the blinkers are way different.
Another turn signal.
Very cool.
All right,
All
what do you think?
You did good.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Good job.
All right, let's get this grill put back in.
Okay. So we're tightening up the last few screws. All right, here it is. The final piece to complete the entire job.
All right, Sandy, that's it. It
All
is
right.
ready to go. Let me close this hood down right here for the final look. You get the luxury of peeling off that side. I'm gonna peel off this side.
All right.
And we're gonna see how it looks.
Ready?
Ready? Get out of here, blue stuff. Now let's take a second back, take a step back and take a step back.
Gorgeous.
All right, you know what I love and what I didn't really like before is the LEDs from the grill didn't match the lights because they were factory versus Morimoto. Morimoto to Morimoto matches perfectly.
Morimoto
There's not
to
even
Morimoto.
a glitch in the matrix right there. Absolutely love it. So Sandy, nice job on this bill.
Oh, good job, man.
We pulled it off. And the heat of the night and the darkness, we definitely got out there and tried something new.
Thank you, Morimoto. We love it.
What a better time to put on lights than in the dark. I like it.
And light up the night.
Let's cut to a cool montage of this thing rolling down the road.